And we're back with some more Dyson Sphere Program. It won the poll by a substantial margin. At the same time, I'm saying we're back because last game I played of this was May 2021. So 3 years ago, a little bit over 3 years ago. I have no idea how to play this. It's been a long time. 3 years is a while to forget everything. This game had been just out a little bit. I had looked out my old very terrible tutorial, and I'm going to follow my old very terrible advice. According to the tutorial I made, I should start near an O-type star. I can't remember why. I think it's something to do with luminosity of them and Dyson spheres. Also, we should be relatively close to the black hole, which, yeah, that seems relatively close. They seem to have introduced this dark fog thing, which is stuff that's going to try and kill us. I have no idea how that works. But hey, I guess we'll find out as we go. Now, I have already went through the intro, but I'll show you this. It's very cheesy. Like, it's super cheese.
The seed.
Yes, the seed.
In iteration.
It sounds like they're trying to make a poem.
From zero, transforming into infinity and beyond.
They've also seen Toy Story. Infinity and beyond, eh?
And becomes the shadow of the galaxy.
The shadow of the galaxy. Yes, it is Darth Plagueis. I do like that there's going to be lots of shooting and laser beams and stuff. We get to turn some of our industry towards blowing stuff up, though I don't know how good we'll be at it. Do we get to make fleets? Ooh. I wasn't really paying attention first time I went through this.
As dark fog rises,
Okay.
the stars dim.
You do realize we're making Dyson spheres everywhere, so everywhere we go,
Will
the stars
embark
dim.
on a new journey.
Yeah. So anyway, now we got to go through the whole getting to the location. The tutorial guy's going to do a bunch of talking at us. Let's skip this forward a bit until it gets to the relevant parts.
Welcome to the real universe. Very soon, you'll find this place different from our homeland. But you should be able to adapt to the laws of physics here in no time. I'm your advisor. I will assist you in completing this mission. Everything here belongs to you. As a member of the Cosmo, a pioneer of the Dyson Sphere Program, you will explore this cluster from ground zero. Make use of the resources available here to build a Dyson sphere that supplies energy to the center brain to maintain homeland simulation. I've chosen a planet for the mission, and there are essential resources for the initial development. Now, please pilot the space capsule toward this planet.
At this point, they give us control of the ship, which we can then move up and down and left and right, and we're just going to head straight for the planet. And as you can see, there's already stuff down there. And this is where it gives us some sort of warning, I believe.
Unknown EM signals detected. Extracting feature variables. Comparing with database. Those are highly likely anomalous mechanical bodies from the Mechanic Energy Program. Engineers call them dark fog. Dark fog is extremely sensitive to EM signals under a regular pattern, so they may launch an assault on us. To stay low profile, we will land on the other side of this planet.
That stuff I have no idea about. I've never seen the dark fog before. That sort of has been recently introduced, it seems. Nice spaceship.
This is Icarus.
Let's get started.
Very
And you,
powerful,
shut
but lightweight.
up. First thing we do is deconstruct this. It'll give us all the basic resources we need to get started. As far as I can recall, there's no time speed up in this game unless they've added it, so... Ooh, dark
Some
rod.
items are found after...
Yeah, sure, whatever. First thing we're going to want to do, right into the research screen. Grab electromagnetism. Activate. Yeah, the matrix thing, we'll grab that too. And basic logistics, we'll grab U3. Now, you'll notice over here in the top right, it says we need these 10 magnetic coils to do our manual research, so we'll just go in here and we'll build them. In fact, actually,
You can hold
2,
the middle
4,
mouse
6,
button
8,
to rotate
10.
the camera,
Yep,
or
we
scroll
hear
the
ya.
mouse wheel.
And as you can see, they're being processed right now. Excellent. Now, once that's done,
Research complete.
That unlocks the second section. However, it gives us a mining machine, a Tesla tower, and a wind turbine. So the first thing we're going to do, though, is we're going to start up another bunch of these. Actually, we're out of iron. So we'll start the mining process.
You've obtained-
We hold down or to rotate it, but what we can do is we can hold down shift to rotate a bit better. Now, we should be able to get about 8 to 9 of these at the same time if we do this right. Actually, let me look around here. Where's the best patch of iron to stick down to? I want to find copper. I can see copper way off there in the distance. Let's head a little bit more that direction. Usually in your starting here, there's a little bit of copper, a little bit of iron. I would like larger chunks so we don't have to move quite so soon. And it looks like there's a big blob of copper right over there. So we'll grab this iron, we'll have that copper, and we'll have that coal. And we got stone nearby. This place is perfect. You know what? 7 will do. That'll give us 180 ore per minute. I think you can get up as high as 8, and that might take us a little bit more effort, though. Right.
You have an unpowered...
No, that's fine. That's cool. So what we want to do now is we also start with this little wind turbine. Wind turbines are not perfect, but I must have changed something. Yeah.
A wind turbine.
This here grid load is 140%, meaning one wind turbine can't power this at maximum capacity. But that's okay. See, this thing produces ore far faster than we could. We can manually mine the stuff. 1, 2, 3. And this thing is just like, look at it go. It's super fast. So, what we can do now is actually I want to crank it a little bit more research. However, we need copper for this, so for that, we're going to churn out another miner. And we're also going to need another wind turbine.
Insufficient materials.
Which requires copper. 1 second. And also, it's going to start getting dark about now, and I can't install any mods if I want to get the achievements. I've never used never gotten achievements in this game before. So it didn't exist last time I played. So I'd like to avoid the mods so that we can crank those out. Another thing we're going to do is we're going to chop down these trees and we're going to power our mecha with leaves and wood. There we go. Perfect. Over here we're going to stick down a copper miner and a wind turbine. Basically the exact same setup as the other side. And now that we have those resources flowing in, that gives us copper. What we can do is, well, I'm going to get a third one. A third miner. Third wind turbine, and then we're going to start doing research after that. But that third one needs to go on the coal. We want a reliable source of coal, copper, and iron to start. That's pretty much the basis of, well, all of these builder games at this point. Done. We now have coal. The great thing about coal is we can chuck that into our mecha. And it acts as a power supply source. Done. Right, so we have iron over here. Yeah, give me some of that tasty iron. We have coal over here. And we have copper over the other side. Now we can start churning through the last of that research we collected. So, give us... Oh, we're going to need 4 more of you. It produces 2 at a time. Then we're going to need 10 circuit boards. That might take a little bit. You know what? Make 2 circuit boards at a time. Actually, it already does make 2 circuit boards. You can see down here the multiplier by 2. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Then, while that's going on, I'm going to go around and grab some stone. Preferably I can find some of the larger stone patches because the larger stone patches can contain titanium. If I could just see them in the dark. Ah, there we go. See that rock there? Rocks like that can contain bits of titanium, and titanium is not present on your starter island, I believe.
Replication complete.
11 stone. Okay, wasn't present in that either. Holding down shift allows you to queue up a bunch of stuff. And while that's going on, what else have we got that we can replicate?
Research complete.
Actually, give us another one of those, and give us another one of those. We're probably going to need those at some point in the near future. Next up, we're going to need 10 cogs and 10 circuit boards. What did I even research? Ah, yes, electromagnetism. This unlocks research labs and blue tech. So we're going to need that for a bunch of stuff. But this stuff over here gives us access to transport belts and a bunch of other stuff we would also like. By clicking these plus and minus arrows over here, we can change it so that every time we queue up a cog, it queues up 5. See? 5, 10... And for these guys, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And that should knock out the last of that research as well. While all of that is going on, we're just grabbing some rock. Because, well, rock is something we haven't actually tapped into yet. And we're just about to knock out that other tech. Basic logistics. This gives us access to a few things we are really going to want. First thing it's giving us is conveyor belts. Like that. And allows us to do something like this, which, yeah, sure, why not? To about there, if you wouldn't mind. Our little robots fly out of us and drop them down. We don't have to go near them, but it does take a little bit of time. Next thing, if we're going to want these little storage things, I don't think we get one of those by default. So, yeah, queue up 3 of those. Yeah, 3 of those would be good. And then a bunch of transport belt to go with that. We're definitely going to need those. And why not a couple more of those inserters? You see, we can't keep coming back here all the time to grab this when it fills up, because it fills up way too quickly. Instead, we'll put down one of these little storage containers, and then what we can do is grab one of these yokes.
Storing items. You can manually store items.
And then in here, this thing is now going to start chucking in all the iron ore so that we don't have to come back and get it all the time. Should store 400 iron ore for us, so whenever we want it, we just can pop back here and grab a nice big chunk of it. Then all we have to do is do the same thing with coal and the same thing with copper. This might take a minute. There also seems to be this new automation milestone up here. You've placed your first conveyor belt. Like, there's these milestone things you get. I'm not sure if they give you anything. What it is, we'll find out, I suppose. And over here is just the copper. It's the final thing we gotta get. What are you doing? Maybe you come down here a little bit would be preferable. And then we'll chuck on our final little storage container. I don't know if past Francis knew what he was doing. I'm just going to assume he probably wasn't that stupid. But then again, the game has been patched an awful lot since, and Francis from 3 years ago could have been an idiot. Oh, and there we go. We just got 20 titanium ore from mining out that rock. Good stuff. And give me some more of that copper ore if you wouldn't mind.
Replication complete.
And we're going to make this a little bit smaller. At some point, we're going to have to remove this, I think. So I would prefer if we didn't have to fill up like a bajillion tons of inventory space with it. All right, done, done, and done. Time to go on to the next bit of science. Actually, there's another thing up here, upgrades. These are all the upgrades that are usually related to your mecha, and oh my god, I'd forgotten how big this all was. Vein utilization, oh wow. Logistics carrier capacity, engines, oh my, yeah, there's a lot. There's so much stuff in here. Energy shield? Well, anyway, first things first, mecha core. 20 iron, 20 copper. And universe exploration. Give us both of those if you wouldn't mind. And iron plate and copper plate, pretty handy. We'll do them in batches of 5. While that's going on, let's go grab ourselves some stone as well. We seem to have a nice big patch nearby. Perfect. Stone sorted as well. Alright. With all that done, we're just knocking out the last of that manual research. Once that's done, though, and we get the Mecha Core upgrade and the Universe Exploration upgrade, the next technologies we want to get our hands on are... Nope, one second. Mecha Core upgrade. This makes us our mech more durable, increases our laser weapon range. Okay, we're going to need the lasers, I presume. Increases our maximum core energy. But what we want to grab here is smelters. We can't really use these much until we've knocked out a few other bits, but smelters and basic assembling, that gives you access to a bunch of stuff. Then we're going to want to get our hands on thermal power, because thermal power means we don't have to mess around with solar and wind. Alright, let's get started. Ooh, would you look at that? We can just grab 100 iron ore right out of there. Good to go. And over here, oh, control and left click to sort all of that. And over here we can just grab a bunch of coal. That can charge up our mech. Perfect. And then finally, where's the copper? Ooh, here we are. I think this place is a little bit spread out, but I'm kind of okay with that. To knock out this universe exploration thing, we're going to need 10 of this electromagnetic science. Turns out you can just make that in here, handcrafting it. I'm not even going to get into the automation aspect of this for a while. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect, and we're probably going to need more of that in a minute as well. Alright, once that's done, that will allow us to get a better look at this planet and see what it's like. Because otherwise it might be problematic, as in we could be... Well, it could be a dead planet with bad resources, but I think, judging by how they've managed the resources here, I think we're good. We've got pretty much everything we need in close proximity. Alright, last research complete. Universal Exploration Level 1. Now this unlocks this section down here. So we can click that, and it shows us when we hover over the veins, it'll see us, like when you look at these veins, you can see exactly how much is in them. So then we can click on the planet, and look around it and get a better idea of all this stuff.
You can hold the middle mouse button.
Crude oil. I like crude oil.
Right.
Yeah, sure, whatever. So crude oil is the one thing we were really interested in. Oh, and manual research up here. We're going to need a bunch of other random junk again. Give me 2 seconds. Huh. They seem to have included a bunch of milestones and all sorts of random stuff in here. Okay, land on 5 different planets. Have Icarus burn at least 16 different fuels in-game. Some of these just sound like way too much effort. How are we looking in coal? Yeah, no, we're fine for a while longer.
Research complete.
Okay, automatic metallurgy. So we've now got the arc smelter. Perfect. That means we can start getting around to building ourselves a little bit of a factory over here. I think we might go down this direction a little bit. Give me a second to plan this out in my head. Oh, wait, I remember this. This is the power trap. The thing is, we can make lots of wind turbines, but they're kind of weak sauce. They don't generate a lot. They're pretty low, 300 kilowatts. So what I like to do is start straight in on using coal to power everything. That's what I figured out was the most efficient method. Well, for me anyway. So we're going to switch over directly to thermal power plants. The thing is, thermal power plants are right here. Oh, wait a minute. Right down here. Which is already in the queue.
Replication
However,
complete.
that's after we get the basic assemblers and things which we need to knock out first. So once that's finished, we're going to need to build a bunch of these. 2 at a time. Yeah, that's going to take a minute or two. While that is going on, we're going to collect a little bit more resources to keep ourselves topped up, and then once we've collected those resources, I'm going to run around a bit and grab a few bits and bobs. Namely, big rocks. Big rocks that might have titanium in them are always useful. Oh, look up here. Planetary base. Threat level. Space Dark Hive. Okay, that's not good. I presume when that hits 100%, we get attacked. Yes? Well, we'll worry about that when we get closer to the point. So this here is the thermal power plant. We get it for that research we just knocked out. Ooh, and thermal power. Yeah, perfect. Another milestone. Reason we're using these, it's just easier and more convenient than solar. Solar takes a lot of time and effort to build up, and it goes out during the night. So we're going to put in about 5 power plants worth of these, which means we're probably going to need a couple more miners as well. Oh, and we're going to need some power. Some of these power Tesla thingies. And I'm also going to need... Yeah, give me a few more of those. Give me a few more of those. Oh, and we're going to need a bunch of these. Yeah, we're probably going to keep our production constantly flowing because we're going to need it. This here can produce, what, 2.16 megawatts. Exactly what we want. And the fact that it runs on coal means we don't have to worry about things running out for a while. Now we also have to link up all of our 3 grids so that everything's running at maximum capacity. And then we can start moving up the tech tree because we have, well, iron, copper, coal, and stone all ready to go. One great thing about this setup is you can actually daisy chain these quite handily. Let's just chuck a bunch of leaves into this guy. It won't last, but then what we do is we grab one of these transport things and tell them, hey, you, pick up the stuff that's in this and transport it to the one at the rear. And then just so long as we put 2 at the front here. And done and done. That means these guys should just constantly keep churning out. Oh, it only pulls in on demand. Right. Yeah, it only keeps 8. So you know what? You grab all of our leaves. We don't need them. I'm just getting rid of all the leaves because I don't want them in my inventory. They seem like a waste of time. We'll end up with more. I can't remember how we used to get rid of those in the past. Right, and one last thing. Give me one more of these power yoke bobbies, and we'll stick them down. Actually, here's good. There we go. 5 thermal power plants. We've also hooked up a couple of extra mines just to make sure we're going to have enough coal coming in, and we just need to get a Tesla transmission tower in range of both of them.
Complete.
Should that be enough? Nope, that is not enough.
You built your
not in
first
range.
power transmission facility.
Yeah, and
a
then we
Tesla
immediately decommissioned
tower.
it.
It can help you
there?
transmit power wirelessly over a short range and extend the power grid coverage.
Right there. Perfect.
Click on it to view more details.
Then what we can do is we can hook that up to the rest of the grid. But in fact, as far as I'm aware, you don't even need to have Tesla tower to Tesla tower. Just building to Tesla tower works just as well, so long as everything's got a line between it. So 1 there and 1 there. I think that's everything, is it? Oh, no, there's one over here we got to do as well. Done. Power grid completed. Now all we got to do is start actually doing automation, or some automation, because yeah, that's sort of the main goal of this game.
Complete.
So far we've just been sort of skipping most of that because it's less efficient than just building a few things yourself. Over here is where we're going to start. There's plenty of iron here, so this should be a nice solid location. First up, we're going to want a couple of smelters. I'm going to check them down right there and right there.
You've built an arc smelter.
You guys are
which
going to want to make
automatically
iron plate.
produces-
And we just got to put
Once
those
a
guys into
recipe
it.
is assigned, use less than key to copy the current recipe.
Oh, that's
and
actually
greater
useful.
than key to paste the recipe to the next building.
I'm going to need to remember that. I'll forget. But anyway, 2 iron plates. Then we want those to actually feed into another building. Basically, these assembly machines. Say we'll put one assembly machine there and another there. So we want to make iron gears. The whole point of this thing is to make transport belt. Transport belt is right here. Transport belt just requires iron plate and gears. Easy peasy. And transport belt is one of those things that you just need so much of in all of these games.
Replication
So you
complete.
go to there, and you... In fact, I think we're going to need a couple to get to you. And then we're going to need some power distribution, so right about there should be fine. Yeah, I'm not sure how efficient this is going to be or how fast. Oh, and one last thing we need to do, of course. You go across to there. Then we'll put on a storage chest at the rear. Come here. Perfection, and a couple of output thingies. Right, we'll limit that to something not too horrendous. Say 4 is usually... that seems about reasonable. How are you looking? You're running low on iron plate. Yeah, so 60 iron plate a minute. 60 iron plate a minute. You require... You know what? I don't know. Don't care. This should just get us enough transport belt that we don't have to keep manually making it, because it's quite a slow process for us to make lots of it. Most of the other stuff, it's usually quicker to make it than it is to just spend all of your time building a whole bunch of infrastructure when you can do this. Like, we skipped a whole bunch of steps so that we could get down all of this power so that we didn't have to build a whole bunch of manual wind turbines before we built this. It's just the power consumption of this is a little bit high. And now we're going to chuck on a whole bunch of other stuff that's going to be depending on coal power. Actually, how's our power grid looking? Yeah, that's sufficient, I suppose. 2 megawatts of power being consumed to churn out all of this transport belt. Delicious. Well, we grabbed a whole bunch of iron from this, and we're going to use this to start making our science section over here. Actually, I might want to scoot you down a little bit more. Reason being is there's going to be some coal in the way, so... Sorry, but you all gotta go. Instead, we'll go down just a little bit. We got plenty of transport belt for this, thankfully. You can go down there. Yeah, perfect. Something like that. Now, let's check down a few buildings. Basically, smelters. You're gonna need a whole bunch of these for, well, everything. So, give me 3 of those right there. And 2 the other side. So, you guys, magnets, please? Yeah, these things. Now, what is it to copy? Nope. Replica copied. Yeah, there we go. Kind of half remembered. And you, we want iron plate from you. So, perfect. And I did it wrong. That gives us those yoking bobs. In fact, let's get some power in here so they stop flashing so nastily. You can go there, and we'll put another one. Oh, and we're a little bit short of an item. Well, we'll get you in a minute. Alright, so we gotta feed these suckers up.
Insufficient materials.
The reason we want all of these things is, well, they're very necessary for the production of science, and we don't want to have to do science manually anymore. We want science to be automated. You, get in there. And a little bit more transport belt. A little bit of power, please. And done. Now, how's our power looking? Yeah, that's definitely going to crank up our power demands just a little bit, which is why we've got all of that coal stuff going. But that will get us those little magnetic things. And it'll also get us iron plate. We're going to be nicking that iron plate a bit, but it's actually going to be more required for science. But yeah, I'll take some of these right now. Cheers, guys. While I have been doing all this, the threat level has been going up a lot. Seems they don't like us. I should probably research, like, something to defend ourselves with. Oh, let's not have time passing while we're in here. I can see weapon systems down here. This gives us gauze turrets. You know what? Let's activate that right now. I should probably crank out some of those. Yeah. Give me 20. Hopefully the mech's got some weaponry on it that's going to help us out, because I've been really sloppy. Oh well. It's what it is. If we die, we die. We can always just start again, right?
Dark fog cluster is launching an assault.
Okay, 3 units are coming. Whereabouts from? Damn it, why won't you tell me where it's coming from? I would really like to know where it's coming from. That would be useful. Here we go. It's 300 meters away and closing. 200 meters. They're inside the room!
Warning. A dark fog planetary base has launched.
Which can automatically strike enemies within its range. Faster mech power generation and faster rate of fire. Fill the chamber with fuels and get ready to engage.
Strike enemies within its range. Faster mecha power generation means a faster rate of fire. Fill the chamber with fuels and get ready to engage.
Whoa, there he is. There's a 3rd ship, I believe, right? Oh, there he is. He's attacking one of our mines. Hey, that is so rude. And he's
You've
dead.
unlocked a weapon system.
Yeah, shift
Icarus
click.
can now use
Hold the left mouse button to build
Press
instantly.
C to open the mecha panel. Load the magazine and activate it. Use ammo to protect both yourself and the base when dark fog strikes.
Perfect. Okay, well, you know
A
what?
building has been destroyed by dark
Yeah,
fog.
we fixed that. It's grand.
Engineer.
Yep, great stuff and all that, but we want to get back to doing this. You give me 100 plate, you give me 100 plate, and you give me 100 magnets, because, well, why not? Okay, we need copper over here. Now, where did I put that copper stash? Oh my god, the copper stash is miles away. We have a small copper stash over here, though I would like to make sure we have a larger reserve. So I'm going to go bring a lot of copper with a lot of transport belt over here. Might take a minute. Yeah, I may have went a little bit overboard on the length of this. Plus, the fact that you can just raise transport belt into midair without having to care about gravity or reality is kind of nice. You keep going, and right about there. We're probably going to want to start coming down out of the sky a little bit. So right about there, maybe? Oh, wait. So what we've done here is brought it down a little early so that we can chuck on some of these copper smelters. Then we're going to have the copper ore output, or the copper plate outputted. Thing about copper ore, you know, there's no need for it. As in, it has only one purpose, and that's to be turned into copper plate. That's it. It has no other uses as far as I'm aware. Which means, once you get it, turn it into copper plate, you're done with it. Iron ore, however, can be turned into magnets and iron plate. So it actually has two uses, meaning it's sometimes worthwhile keeping
Replication complete.
some of it on the transport belt. And
Research complete.
Perfect. Oh, and we've also researched how to make motors. I just did it because I thought it'd be... What are you doing? Damn it! Never mind, that never happened. You saw nothing. With that copper available to us, we can now chuck it into these machines. And, well, the whole end point of this is so that we can make this stuff. Blue science. This stuff requires some of those magnets with copper wrapped around them, so copper coils? No, magnetic coils. Sorry, so there's magnets, magnetic coils. Magnetic coils require, well, basically iron ore turned directly into magnets and copper turned into copper plate. Combine those two and you get your magnetic coils. The other thing we need is those green circuit boards, which requires, well, just iron plate and copper plate. That's it. So that's why we have the iron plate smelters over here. The copper plate smelters are, okay, over there, a little bit wonky. But these all feed into each other to give us all the resources we're going to need. Except for the fact that I never plugged in the iron plate outputs. 1 second. All we're trying to do is get about 90 science together, because 90 is sort of the convenient number that allows us to level up pretty quickly. Alright, with that done, I think it's time we can start checking on the science buildings now. Okay, let's put down some labs and actually start automating the research. I've been faffing about too long. Alright, we'll put 3 of them to start and then make sure we can hook everything up. Yes, these guys.
Matrices.
These guys' whole purpose is to produce these things. We want to select you to make the blue stuff, which means you need magnetic coils and circuit boards. Easy peasy. And it actually copies it to all 3 of them. Huh, we didn't have to do anything. You can stack these 3 high. There is tech that allows you to go up to, I think, 5 or 6, but we don't have access to that yet, and honestly, we don't really care too much. You give us some of those green circuits, and then I want you to put them in there. And then we're going to need these magnetic coils over here, so bring those down here, and put those in there as well. And I am probably going to need to make a few more of those inserters, assemblers, whatever. Perfect. Then a little bit of power. I'm going to need another one of those in a second too. Done.
Replication
Spinning up, and power is still being managed. Excellent. So that's 3. You know what? Let's stick down 6 of these. I think we need about 4.5 or 5, but I'm just going to cover my butt on these ones. And that's blue science started, as it's producing the science in these buildings based off all of this junk we're feeding into it. I know these things are not exactly the most exciting things to try and explain, but it's fairly basic. It's just some iron plate that feeds into these, along with some copper plate on the other side to produce the green circuit boards. And these things are just, well, copper ore that's turned straight into magnets and some copper plate. And then we just make sure that they all get output and dumped into this thing. Problem solved. Then we need some buildings over here, though, to consume it all. So we need to stick down a few labs here, but their job is not to actually produce science, but to consume the science. For that, we're going to need to stick down, say, you can come from all the way over here in a bit. And then we check on a few output Yokimabobs. You output. again, and you input. And you know what? Yeah, stop that at the end. So, your job is research. Yep. Done. Now, all three of those labs should be churning out research, which means we can start queuing stuff up. Let's just start at the top, I suppose, and work our way down. Done. We'll take you because it's only blue research. You guys are not only blue research. We shall grab steel smelting. Yes, combustible. You don't know what you do, but we'll take you. You, yep, you're also blue. What are you? Semiconductors, also blue. Oh, wait, weapons. I should grab more weaponry stuff. What have we got down here? Engines. Sure. Missile turrets. Sounds tasty. Battlefield analysis. I have no idea what happens. Requires high efficiency plasma control. I don't know what that is. You know what? Let's go to upgrades over here. Mechanical frame. Oh, and all queues are full. You know what? That is fine. So, oh, and I think we're going to need another... Ooh, actually, I'm just realizing something here. There we go. Much better. 6 labs producing, 6 labs consuming. Don't think those are all going to be able to keep up. And what's up with you? I don't think you can output fast enough, can you? That might actually be an issue, so... let's double up on you. Can you output fast enough now? Still a little bit slow. 45 for... No. You know what? We'll upgrade you. We're going to need a level 2 output.
Research complete.
Yeah, steel smelting fine. There we go. Output is now fast enough. And our research should be churning. Excellent. Now, you guys are all maxed out, and threat is going to go up quite rapidly now, I presume, now that we're processing things at this rate. But that looks like a decent start to a base. That means we can basically knock out all the low-level blue research. There is one thing, though, I really wanted to knock out under the research tree, and that was upgrades for our mech that actually do some good stuff. Like this, I would really like. Movement speed, inventory capacity. Ooh, communication control. That one I have to grab immediately. That one allows us to have more construction drones. Auto reconstruction marking. Enhanced battle damage analysis technologies facilitates the analysis of ruined buildings, enabling the marking of targets for expedited construction. I don't know what that means. Sure. Mass construction. Unlock blueprint limit 150 facilities. With this technology, the current blueprint for production lines can be batch replicated to greatly facilitate construction. A safe blueprint is available even in a different cluster. The basic mass construction technology has a limit on facility numbers. Okay, I'm going to need to do some research. Energy circuit. Yes, we need to grab our hands on this once the queue is ready. That's going to require, though, energetic graphite. Energetic graphite, I think, requires us to have another technology upgraded, or another technology unlocked. Here we go. Smelting purification. That's actually up next. That will give us access to energetic graphite and high-purity silicon. Alright then, we sort of have to wait till some of the research is done, but considering the rate it's going at, we should be fine. Now, guide to turrets. I should really read up on some of this stuff. Okay, looking about, we're over the 30-minute mark on the video. YouTube doesn't like when I go that high. Also, there's a few other things, namely the tech. I think I need to do some research here. Namely because there's stuff in here that wasn't there before. For example, what's a proliferator Mark 1? Like, fitting the spray coater to a conveyor belt and feeding it to the proliferator through the upper port allows cargo on the conveyor belt to be sprayed. Production is either accelerated or extra products gained when cargo sprayed with the proliferator is used. This seems to be a production multiplier. I don't know what the spray is or what resources it requires. I need to do some... Oh, it's coal. So it takes coal and uses the coal to amplify your production so you can actually use your coal for something. That uses refined carbon, and the Mark III variant uses... Oh, great. That's just going to add more production complexity. Oh, yeah, I suppose that's the whole point. Alright, then down here we've got a whole bunch of weapons and stuff. Like, we have missile turrets, implosion cannons, high explosive shells, planetary defense shields, supersonic missiles, crystal shell set. I don't know what that is, but it looks cool. Plasma turrets. That sounds just absolutely delicious. We also have destroyers. There's a listing for destroyers down here. We realize the importance and complexity of warships from the fights against the Dark Fog Space Forces. Warships require strong power and excellent survival capabilities if they're to help Icarus gain an advantage on the battlefield. I am really looking forward to building giant fleets and fighting stuff. Though I have so many more questions. Like, how do we get rid of the thing that's on this planet? Like, right. If we go out here, there
In
is...
the planet view.
Yes, I heard you the first... 4 or 5 times
the
you said something today. Shut up. God, I hate that guy so much. I need to find a way to turn that off. Yeah, this guy down here. How do we get rid of him off the planet? I want to exploit all the oil reserves on this planet. That's what I'd normally do. I'd run off right about now, get a bunch of oil wells, throw down some thermal power plants, and just turn all the oil in this planet into power. Instead of using the, the solar and wind. That stuff takes too long, but just tapping all the oil wells would work. So I need to do a bunch more research, but I think next up we'll be knocking out the next science, and then we'll be putting together a mall, so we can supply ourselves with all the resources we're going to need. However, I'm going to have to balance that with what kind of weapons do we need? How close can I get to that tower down the far end of the planet? How much defenses am I going to need to parse out? It's going to get confusing, isn't it? Oh well, should have remembered all this stuff from 3 years ago. It's my own fault for having a terrible memory. Anyway, I'm going to cut this out here. I hope you enjoyed it. Good luck.